Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where the dwarves of Carrick Norn have made a fatal mistake, I think. How fatal is this mistake they made? Oh, that looks pretty fatal to me. I think we literally killed every soldier they had. Now obviously, that's not going to stick. How many settlements do they control? 4? So 2 in the mountains, 1 right near Remamute, and then Nuln. We might be able to wipe that faction out. And that would probably be a good move for us. I know we got the Empire back on their heels right now, but like the idea of actually defeating the entire Empire is... That's going to be a long game kind of goal. We could wipe out Carrick Norn right now, though. So it's important to remember that on higher difficulties, in addition to each enemy faction just getting the amount of money that they're making, and it is the case, if you look at this, you can see background income of 2,500 gold. Every faction is just getting 2,500 gold for free every turn. But on higher difficulties, the AI also gets a bunch of extra money for free every turn. So it's important to wipe out enemy factions when you can. It's not just the case that, like, if you are fighting 2 enemy factions, each of which have 4 settlements, you're actually facing a significantly larger combined income than you would be if you were fighting 1 enemy faction that had 8 settlements, because each of them is getting so much free gold every turn. So when you have an opportunity like this to take down 1 enemy and remove them from the game, it's important to do so, because that's probably like at least 1 full stack worth of free money that Nuln is getting every turn. So let's get rid of them. Let's do that thing. We can start with Carrick Bufdar, which doesn't even have walls. A 7-unit garrison. We'll just roll in here and reappropriate this. Goodbye. This is mine now. And yeah, I think we'll just take it over. I guess I should have had a plan here before before attacking. Maybe I should have thought forward a little bit. Carrick Bufdar is part of the vaults. So Zarakzil is down here, and then Carrick Izor is up there, and Carrick Izor is a strategic location for the Skaven. I don't really want to be at war with the main dwarf faction. I mean, it's going to happen eventually. We're trending toward negative 404 with them. Well, hopefully it'll be a little bit, though, because we got other stuff to do. You, my friend, should probably learn how to wither some enemies. Minus 60 armor is an awfully large amount of armor. Bless of Filth is also very good. Poison is just a very powerful effect. We're going to pick all that stuff up. But we're definitely focused on making our sorcerers better at sorcery. So he's going to pick up Brittle Bone, which really reduces the... Wow, that's a pretty big stat reduction. And Black Whirlwind, which does damage. I'm trying to figure out which of the spells in this first box combine well with that stuff. So this is a buff for our troops, probably like often to be used as we approach, I imagine, because once you're up on top of the enemy, I'm wondering, like, Brittle Bone might be a better way to go. I don't know. Let's make sure we have each of our spells. We'll figure out what we wanna max out first later. Alright, so that's under control. We gotta take Nuln back. So what am I thinking in terms of dealing with the actual Empire? Well, first of all, I guess, how is this all of Stirland here? No, Stirland has 4 settlements. Do we have any idea where the other 2 are? I was kind of thinking the same thing with them, whether or not it was going to be feasible to kill them. I guess we don't know what's going on over here. Stirland might own those 2. And in fact, you can see the yellow color backing Stirland is visible along the border here. So yeah, probably Stirland owns a couple settlements in this area. And they have less military power than us by a fair amount. I'm wondering how much we can devote people to moving south, how much we have to keep people in place to defend against a counterattack from Stirland. Nuln has basically no garrison, but Bilefitch Stab is probably not in a good place to be conquering stuff by himself, because he's kind of a perpetual screw-up. Let's go ahead and install a growth building here. We want to get walls around Kemperbad as fast as we can, and that's how you do that. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Icket Claw make a move on Nuln. Going to, I think, have Biofitch come up and get some XP on the battle. May as well. And then he's gonna fall back to Grunberg and hold Grunberg for a minute. Alright, so we reclaim this, we get 57 gold for it. Because that's all of the objects of value that are left in the city. And this is Ikit Claw's final skill point. This is the last skill point he will ever have. We have hit the level cap. I have no idea what I want to take. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, like... I like him, so you can see his missile damage changes pretty significantly in the Doom Wheel, because he's not going to be using his Flamethrower anymore, he's going to be using the Doom Wheel's weapon systems. I kind of like him, how he is now, and he's really good at standing and fighting guys. It'll be a very different story in the Doom Wheel. I think I want to leave him on foot. I like him on foot. This doesn't seem good. This seems like it will never be relevant. Do you take, like, missile resistance? That seems bad. We have all the spell stuff. We could take one more point on, like, looter. Because we loot settlements when we occupy them, this has a little bit more value for us than it does for other factions where you have to loot separately. Yeah, I don't know, man. It all seems pretty questionable. Extra corruption. I'm gonna take another point in looter, I think. None of these are great. Income from post-battle loot 10%. That's actually, you know what? I'll take that. That'll be relevant when we're fighting normal armies out in the field as well. Alright, you come back and hold Grunberg for a minute. We are going to have to deal with a rebellion in this area, and we're going to have to do it soon. Not really looking forward to that. And then, hey, Arat, can you maybe get rid of this dude so that he doesn't immediately wound my my Plague Sorcerer again? You can indeed, even while exhausted from a previous assassination. Nothing stops Arat. Let me tell you something. I have had rats in my life. If there is food anywhere nearby, nothing stops a rat. What am I going to do with you, Morlock? Where do you want to go to cause havoc? So we could use him to just, like, make the Empire's life miserable nearby in the hopes of steering off any reinforcements that might be headed in. We could do that in Wurtbad as well. Where is an enemy army? Okay, Flensburg. You know what? I'm just going to go plague Flensburg. We'll hope that that army that's in Flensburg catches it, and that will reduce their effectiveness in harassing us. Oh hey, Morlock earned himself a follower as he died. Where are we at on this? We are 2 turns from another Pestilent Priest, 5 turns from another Doom Priest. Alright, we have a ton of money. What changes need to happen in Reichland? Well, we probably want to save population for Grunberg. Grunberg is right on the front and needs to get its defensive structures up. So next turn we can do that. We definitely don't want to upgrade Eilhart. We probably don't want this pottery. Honestly, I mean, I know it's boring. I know I keep building the same stuff everywhere, but it's because that's the stuff that we ought to have. And I'm going to go ahead and put up a defensive structure at Ubersreich. We're probably going to end up with defensive structures in all of these cities up here. It's kind of a shame because it means that you're effectively losing out on a lot of opportunities to make money. That's a slot in each settlement that could be used to make money instead, and that is a shame. But it's so easy for enemies to stroll in and just take all your stuff. Let's keep upgrading that. So we're paying a lot of food. We're paying a lot of food for settlement upkeep. We're also producing an awful lot of food from our food buildings. I don't know if we'll be able to catch up, but I do think it's worth continuing to try. Are settlement upgrades available? There are not. You lie to me. 1557. I don't know if it's... It would take a while for this to pay off. Is there anything we could be doing with this money that makes a little bit more sense? We have too much damn land. I don't even know where to do stuff. Okay, we're positive on public order here. Massey-Forcal needs to get recruitment structures up, because this place is going to be important in our war against the elves. I keep saying that so as to remind myself of it in the hopes that eventually it will sink in and help me make my decisions. But it turns out I forget stuff with remarkable alacrity. And maybe the most mentally nimble forgetter you will ever meet. Yeah, growth. Just keep jamming money into the Empire. Alright, do we want Vomik to do a thing? I probably don't want to go to Warpbad and... Ooh, actually, with Warpbad's garrison only having 10 units in it, do I want to go to Warpbad and mess them up? Nah, because this guy will run up behind me and it'll be a whole nightmare. I think maybe what I want Vomik to do is sit outside of Kemperbad in ambush mode and just catch stupid people trying to come in here and take my stuff. That might work. That could totally work. So we're going to get up in the mountains here. We'll reclaim Karak Azgaraz. We know it's in terrible shape because, you know, it changed hands a bunch of times pretty recently. And we'll use Remamute to grab the Grimhold. We do not want to walk around to get up into the path to the Grimhold. We want to use the underway because otherwise we have to walk right past whatever army is being fielded by old Metalface here. We are overall strength rank 7. We're doing it. We're getting big. Alright, I think that was a fairly productive turn. Also, look at all the food and warp fuel we have. We should do stuff with this. We are out of Doom Rockets. That's what we should do with it, is get more Doom Rockets, because I love them. I don't even know if they're effective enough to warrant their cost. It very well may be the case that I am not using our resources in the most effective way, but it is super fun to fire off a Doom Rocket. A defensive alliance with Nagarond, I think, benefits us not at all. I don't think there's any reason that I would do such a thing. Now, there's not a ton of downside either. A lot of people will hate you if you make an alliance with the Dark Elves. But all of those people already hate me, so kind of whatever on that. But I just don't, like... What do I get out of it? And then at some point, Lothern's going to declare war on them again, and then I'm going to be at war with Lothern, which is the thing I have no interest in. I cannot believe Sylvania still lives. It's wild. It's madness. At some point, we gotta finish off Couronne. I was kind of hoping the Wood Elves would do it. Okay, the Wood Elves are going to do it. That's fine. We'll worry about the Wood Elves later. There will come a time. We will have to. But that time is not right now. Right now, we're very busy. Who are these guys? War is being declared on me. I mean, okay. War is being declared on me by a Norskin faction that only has settlements in such an extreme corner of the map that I can't even see any of them? I don't know anything about these dudes. And they had no diplomatic relationships at all prior to declaring war on me. Now they're in 3 wars. I don't know, maybe my Norskin allies will... Oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have called my allies to help because I don't want the Norskins or anybody to get distracted by those dudes. Yeah, that was probably an error. Wow, look at that Puppets of Chaos army strength.
Your reach grows yet further, Great
Oh, hey,
Lord.
we're doing it. Our reach is growing yet further. Well, we've hit ultimate experiments. When we finally manage to have a Vermintide happen, it's gonna be great. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Oh yeah, absolutely upgrade Nuln. Let's try to get this thing together in a way that allows us to not have to guard it quite so badly. Alright, we have lots and lots of use for money immediately. Let's see, where's Arat? What are the odds that you could pluck a hero out of this army? Honestly, pretty good. Yeah, let's see about killing Johann Ludenhauer. I can't remember what spells Grey Wizards have access to. I know that Light Wizards have access to some pretty annoying ones. You know what? Try to get rid of the Light Wizard. The thing I'm most concerned about with a Light Wizard is they have a spell called the Net of Amentok, which just like drops a magic net on a bunch of your units and holds them in place. Very dangerous in conjunction with multiple units of Hellstorm rocket batteries, right? They just pin you to the ground and then hammer you into dust. Alright, new Warpstone uses. Probably? Recruit Poor Rejects is not so good. Promoted on Merit gives us bonus recruit rank for Lords and some heroes. Big ammunition bonus and reload time reduction for our siege type units, though. That's not bad. Armor for storm vermin and weapons teams, followed by weapon strength for... Ooh, I do love weapon strength for doom flares. And missile damage up for... Ooh, wow, those are all real good. I'm gonna grab new warpstone uses first, I think, but we're gonna go to they can't blame their tools after that. It's so hard to turn down casualty replenishment rate plus 10%. Even though our replenishment rate is so very high already, it just keeps getting, like... You saw what happened with Icky Claw's army and stuff. Like, we need more. We still need more. We always need more. I'm a little concerned about this. I wish I had a scout over here. Because I don't actually know for sure that Karak Azgaraz is undefended, and it'll be awkward if I walk up into this mountain pass and get grabbed. Maybe what I want to do here is... Yeah, move just far enough that I can still go into ambush mode. I have so much movement, I'll be able to hit Karak Azgaraz no problem next turn. Actually, it's empty. Still, we move stealthily. In darkness and silence, this gave an approach. I mean, we may as well, I guess, and then also produce food. You are producing food. I really appreciate when everybody is producing food. We're not super close to being able to max this out. At some point, we're going to pull the growth thing, even though it produces money here, just because we want to make sure we have room for all the recruitment buildings. Bordello is 4 turns from being able to do this upgrade. It's going to cost 12,000 gold. So I guess keep that number in mind. Somehow have 12,000 gold ready. This whole area over here is not very well built. Jeez, we have so much stuff to improve. Alright, Corona is one of those special settlements that gets the really big garrison even without having to have a garrison building, which is nice. We have another... Well, I mean, we can make this. Generally speaking, when you have money, you want to spend that money on making more money. I think that's a good solid rule for not just Total War Warhammer, but sort of like strategy games in general. Strategy games of this type. Just like continue to make money. Let's turn taxation back on here, and just in case, let's build a bell. So we have lots of growth buildings and everything. You know what? Yeah, an upgrade to this building seems perfectly reasonable. In fact, let's upgrade both of them. And then here, we may as well make some more money. Okay. Probably Altdorf, like this province should have recruitment structures, but we got to get it set up first. I think it's really important. So Alberic Haupt Anderson has walked out into the open. His army is pretty light on actual troops, very elite siege weaponry, like rank 8 and rank 7 siege stuff. He's got a couple units of great swords, he's got some characters. I think Vomik can take him. Vomik cannot grab... Oh, I thought these guys were available. I must have not seen that indicator. Well, I'd love to roll in there with a full stack. Looks like that's not happening. Do I think we can actually take these guys? We do have the Wheels of Doom. Pretty good against enemy siege weapons. We do have our own catapults who are also high level. We have our gun teams who are going to have a hard time getting in, but once they get in, should absolutely shred the enemy. And what's the Skaven corruption in this province? It is at 21%. So that's like 1 or 2 free charges of Menace below. We don't have any food, so we can't rely on pulling more in. It's like this is part of the value of the plague, right? We forced this army out of the city because they were afraid to get infected. Oh, you know what? I'm overthinking this. We have reinforcements. Let's just mulch these dudes. This will be really, really easy, actually. And Bilefitch Stab could roll over there in his Doom Wheel. I was going to call it a Doom Wagon, which is like way more of an orky kind of vehicle name. A big red Doom Wagon. Oh, and we hit the ambush. Well, that's going to be embarrassing for them, so we get to start on top of their siege crew. I kind of forgot about offensive ambush for a minute there. Yeah, that's... You're not going to be able to survive that. Some army compositions are way more... It might seem to you that the ability to ambush enemies while attacking them is way overpowered. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to pretend that it's not really, really good. But, it's way more powerful against some compositions than others. Like, against dwarves, it matters very little, actually. We've been fighting a lot of enemies that don't respond well to being ambushed, which is part of why it looks so incredibly good. Is there anything we can do in the workshop with 2 vials of warp fuel? I don't think there is, right? It's just a shame to watch all this food go to waste. I guess we could do some of this stuff. You know what? I might take toxic waste salvage. We use our doom rockets a lot. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. Was this turn? No, it was not. So let's get over here near the mountain, and then we'll jump over to Grimhold. Grimhold may well be where they are forming up their army, although the scouts from our army suggest that this area is empty. Thorgrim Grudgebearer is the actual Dwarven King, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm a little worried about the fact that he's over here. Got an army that looks like it's mostly pretty basic troops, but they're pretty upgraded, a lot of them. So the dwarves have sort of like 2 basic infantry units. They have the Dwarf Warrior, who, as you can see from the stat line there, is incredibly tough. 29 melee attack, 28 weapon strength, not super good at killing, but 49 melee defense with 90 armor makes them just hard as hell. And then, at building level 3, settlement rank 3, they get access to Longbeards, which are just dwarf warriors, but more so, basically. These guys are going to be such a nightmare for us to kill. I mean, I say that, but then our battle against the dwarves of Carrick Norn, all their warriors, did go a lot better than I was expecting it to. We're elite enough that we have access to the units that make it easier to fight dwarves, things like Death Runners and Eshin Triads. I really like the Eshin Triad unit. I think that is super cool. The fact is, in a lot of situations, Death Runners are just way better. I don't know why I'm responding so much more to the Eshin Triads. We are getting our garrisons and whatnot just constantly harassed. So I was looking at our list of objectives, our big list of objectives. Obviously, we have to kill some factions, or some factions have to get killed. I don't have to do it personally. And we have to own some cities and stuff. But it's also important to remember that we have to have 100 military units simultaneously when we have all the other stuff complete in order to actually win. So at some point we are going to need to be able to field 5 armies. That's a big part of what I'm pursuing income for, is just that we could run 5 real armies. Right now we have 4 stacks, but one of them is kind of fake because Bilefitch Stab's army is garbage. We need a lot more money before we're going to be set. Vashnar's full name is Vashnar Krakenclaw? That's actually really cool. Sometimes Dark Elf names, they stretch too far into edgelordiness, but Krakenclaw is pretty good. Alright, raise or sack Carrick Norn. I'll see what I can do. So we managed to expand our undercity onto the White Tower of Hoeth. Unfortunately, the White Tower of Hoeth, which is a tremendously important location in Elven society, doesn't actually make any money. But we could use it to mine. I think that's going to be the play here. So I'm going to establish the basics and then also one of these small money buildings. And I haven't been spending a lot of energy on the Undercity growing underneath Ulthuan because we have a lot of other things to spend money on. But there's definitely there's more cash we could be earning here. Alright, give me that. We don't need vision around Port Ellistor, and I do not like the fact that our discoverability is higher than 100 or higher than 0. Oh, Vomik got the plague. Well, that's a shame. A push on Wurtbad would have been totally viable. I didn't realize that the plague could jump such a distance. Alright, well, everybody's got to go home. Don't bring it back to the cities. I guess you can't really help it, though, if it can cover that distance. Yeah, alright, just go home and sit in the cities and try to be okay.
Machines and then sorcery.
Doesn't say how long it's gonna last. There's 4 turns left in that, but I can't believe the distance that jumped. Actually, don't be in the cities. Be out here. I'm just thinking, like, if they get attacked in the cities, and if I were the enemy, I would be making that move. If they get attacked in the cities, they're going to be in dire shape. If they're outside the cities, they can at least run away. Fortunately, they are not part of the push on Carrickdorn. They can just be sick over there. Alright, he's as good at assassinations as he's getting. Not that we have any reason to believe that we will necessarily need to perform any with him. Which is good to have the option. Alright, this is easy enough.
Master. No tunnel. Run, fools.
Okay. So I have to imagine they're building up at Carrickdorn, right? Because they don't have any other settlements. Either that or they're not building up new armies at all, which I think would be a huge error on their part, but still might be what's happening. Maybe we should let him rest. Maybe I should just let him chill. The thing is, he's so good at his job. He's not that good at it. You know, buddy, why don't you just get over here and think about stuff for a while? Show me if there are any Empire armies in Krugenheim. How about that? Nope. I don't know what the Empire's up to. Maybe fighting chaos or something, but they're not bothering me right now, which is good enough. Growth. More growth. Also, we're going to have a rebellion here pretty soon if we don't do something about it. Should I, instead of this, build a bell? Maybe. Yeah, definitely, in fact. I'm going to turn off taxation here for a minute to stop the public order drop. That's such like a base assumption in games like this. Like, oh, taxes make people unhappy. But I don't... You know what makes people unhappy is not having any functioning infrastructure. It's a real modern American idea that everyone hates taxes. Not, I think, historically supported in the broadest sense. And then, yeah, we may as well do this, right? We have a little bit of money left over. This is really unfortunate. For both of those armies to have caught the plague. For his army that was in the city not to have caught the plague, but then my armies on the other side of a big forest both to have gotten it. Really sucks. I like the idea of using the plague to force an army out of a city, but it's a little bit volatile, turns out. I can't believe that those pirates are able to just run wild on Lothern like that without getting crushed. I'm assuming all of Lothern's armies are way over in the Dark Elf lands. I mean, I can't imagine where else they would be. It looks like Nagaron's not actually at war with Lothern anymore, which is strange, though. You know what? Oh, do we know that Nagaron was at war with Lothern? We know Haggrafe was. Maybe not. I don't think that Bretonian army ran far enough to get away from those Wood Elves. Well, I guess we'll never know. Whatever's happening is happening in the dark. Boy, they really love to just, like, jam tons of characters together. I mean, part of what's going on there is that the AI really, really loves to hire agents. You'll notice, if I click on one of our recruit hero screens, that we have a hero capacity that is, like, 5 points higher on each hero type than we're currently actually using. Part of that is you just have to pay heroes every turn, and if I'm not getting benefit out of them, I don't really want to be running them. But also part of it is that, like, the extra operational complexity from having a bunch of heroes is not necessarily something I want to engage with. But the AI always hires as many guys as they can. And then they have to find something to do with them, so they fold them into armies. It is time to test just how loyal devoted your warlords are. A test is needed, but should such a trial be mental or physical? Well, I do love ambush success chance up. Place the Lord subject in a device that shall pull his tail until he chitters. Then we'll see just how loyal he is. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I would also be less loyal to a guy who tortured me just to find out if I'm loyal. Or have Eshin follow this one. Make it known that the Watcher is always there and able to strike at any moment. I do love hero action success chance up for assassins, but I think we're going to take Tail Stretcher. Speaking of assassins, hey buddy, it's your turn to go kill a guy. Where'd that other army go? Yeah, those guys. Kill some of those guys. Don't let them just run up on me like this. This army only has one wizard, so if we take him out, they get no magic. Let's do that. Critical success. Get murdered. Get totally 100% murdered, you huge idiot. You guys just chill. We may infect Grunberg and Kemperbad, and if that happens, bummer, but like I'm not I'm not concerned enough to move them away from the cities. Hold on, before I do any money spending, let's actually do our attacks for the turn. Let's get a better sense of how much money we really have. Obviously, the Grimhold. I gotta say, I think that we're getting a little bit. What does that do? Salt of Stone? It's a bombardment spell. That's interesting. Hey, Remamute, what are you using in that slot currently? That's a Wand of Jet slot. I mean, the Wand of Jet is a fair amount of extra power reserve over the course of a battle, but also I want to see Assault of Stone in action, so we're going to do this. So we need to spend one more. Oh, yeah, Plague Rash, obviously. A reduction in Vigor map-wide. Enemy units getting tired makes it way, way easier to beat them. Hold on a second. Rat Karuta. Innovative Eastern technologies of armor assembly make it slightly less dangerous for the sorcerer to be in range of enemy attacks. You know, 10 melee defense is not a small bonus. Ooh, hold on a second. We're gonna grab Cathayan training here. Those of Eshid knowledgeable in the Cathayan art of war are few and far between, so he's just gonna feed 40 XP to every unit in the army every turn. Over time, that really adds up. You want to take something like that as early as possible. Cathay, I believe, is Warhammer Fantasy China. If you look at the map, it sort of kind of maps to the real world a little bit, where like this area is roughly Europe shaped, and over here you got your jungles of South America, and up here you have, unfortunately, the place where all the slavery is constantly happening. So, you know, Cathay's over here somewhere, way to the east. I don't know if they're actually going to do Cathay in the third game. It seems like a... On the one hand, I bet the Chinese video game buying market would love to have a Fantasy China. I hear that the China historical Total War game, Three Kingdoms, I think it's called, is doing very well. But on the other hand, it seems like a thing would be really easy to, like, create some horribly stereotyped garbage that everybody hates. So, I guess... Good luck to them. Good luck to them if they try it. Hold on, we gotta not do this. I need the money to finish upgrading Gorsel. That's a priority. And then we may as well upgrade Altdorf as well, right? I would like Altdorf to get strong. If we were to get attacked by Middenland, and it will happen eventually, they'll definitely go for Altdorf and Eilhart first. Because, you know, it's just like how the geography works out. Sure, upgrade Carrick Buftar. We should turn off taxation in Carrick Buftar. Also, we should demolish this. This is the wrong building. And who has a skill point? Arad has a skill point. Of course he does. He's always getting better at everything. So he's still going to gain another 11 levels after this. I mean, let's continue picking up combat stuff. I think he's going to be pretty teched out. You know what? Actually, we should have him gain replenish troops points. My guess is we're going to find that miraculously Ulrich von Sauterhofen is not going to get the plague despite being as close to that city as we were when we got it. Just a feeling I have. Then he's going to run up to Kemperbad and attack, and we are going to have a difficult decision to make as to whether or not we want to have our army participate in that battle. Oh, absolutely not. Never in a million years. Wait, no, Heggrave is still alive. What was the name of the Dark Elf faction? Harganeth. Harganeth is the one that died. I'm really pleased with how much this Undercity has managed to spread, though. Uh-oh. They saw through Bilefitch's stab his ambush. Well, he's probably too far away for Stirland to make any moves on him. I'm still pretty worried about this. The plague really backfired on us. I mean, I guess that's almost the most Skaven way that could have gone, right? We gotta have a look at the Undercity beneath Castle Drakenhof and make sure that it is still, that it is built correctly and is not super discoverable. Because I don't remember what I did to it. So it looks like the Wood Elves are having a hard time closing the deal here against Bretonnia in a way that I'm finding a little frustrating. Could you guys please, like, I know they confederated some territory. They'll still be alive down here. But it would be great if that was the only place they are. Wait, did I run too far back? I did. I ran too far back. Well, alright, whatever. We could have manually fought that and maybe killed the crew of that siege weapon. But I don't know that that small benefit is worth spending actual human minutes on it. And hey, look at that. Somehow they didn't catch the plague. Things have really gone sideways for us on this particular front. That's alright. We'll be done with Carrick Norn soon, and we can return. Probably, I don't know if we want to have Remamute. Oh no. Lothern declared war on us. They've been invited by our enemies, those damn Norskins. Well, that's not good for us. Everybody gets weapon damage up. Everyone, everywhere. That's a problem. Alright, hold on. One thing, let's do this. We know what we're doing over here. I'm going to use the underway to move out of here because it allows us to get a hell of a lot further. We'll stay on our side of the line for right now. I think we should have the movement necessary to get to Carrick Norn next turn. And you... I want to stop just short of the mountain pass. You can see there are some areas here where we suffer attrition if we stop there. Or we could just underway move. Hold on, let me... So they do have something now. They have an army. I want to be careful not to get, like, caught in a bad position. But I guess we could do this, and even if they do run out, we have one army to there, probably one army. Except my Doomflayers are still damaged. Alright, we'll slow roll it a little bit here. We'll stop just short of the pass, which will be still in our territory, so we're still replenishing. And we will hide. Hide in the trees. Okay. They have built 2 armies, which is a terrible way of doing this. They have 10 total units. I guess we're not actually in any danger. And then we could run forward and just try to do a thing here. I mean, these guys, our units are really screwed up. Their units are not very numerous, and boy, I don't know. The fact that we'd be going into it with like 2 catapults in each catapult unit and fewer than half of the gunners in each gun unit, I'm really uncertain as to whether or not we would survive that. Another 2 turns of plague. Let's see if we can remove another hero here. Oh no, it's another one of those villains from the Dog Burglar clan. Get him! Listen, we engage in a lot of screwed up stuff, but I would never burgle a dog. Not ever. Have some respect for yourself, man. I'm gonna pick up replenished troops on him, actually. If we ever fold him into an army, that'll be a useful bonus. And in fact, he might hang out in Vomik's army for a little while after the plague gets dealt with, because We may need him to.
Unworkable.
Do we use our sick troops to attack the enemy here? I mean, if we don't, what happens with them? They're going to sit there and replenish and get stronger. The city garrison's going to heal up. Yeah, I think we do.
Knock sorcerer.
He's so close to being immortal. I'm really nervous about getting into a battle and losing him in a stupid way. We have such a numbers advantage, though. No, this has got to work.
Think the side again.
Why can you not do that? Yeah, move. Do the movement.
Master love shadows. New contract.
Okay, we do have a pretty easy win here. I might want to do this manually just to guarantee that we don't lose a bunch of our injured troops in stupid ways. We should apply the magic resistance banner to somebody. We're gonna do this. How are we gonna deal with those guys? I guess we have the Doom Wheel. The Doom Wheel's in pretty good health, and we have our runners. Yeah, okay. We're going to do this manually because I'm not a big fan of the way the auto-resolve treats injured units. See a lot of people die in ways that are impossible, functionally impossible. So the key here is going to be mobility. We want to stay away from those great swords while we shoot them. Letting the great swords get into melee is going to lead to an awful lot of dead. And we don't necessarily have to engage with them almost at all. Our biggest problem here is going to be... that's fine. Our biggest problem here is going to be the war wagons. We do not really have a good solution to those war wagons. Also, they have demigryph knights. But we have Eshin triads and stuff. I mean, the Eshin triads will do some work against the war wagons, because, right, we'll be able to strip their armor. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit ugly. Well, obviously, mortars on the hill. Actually, mortars in a place where they can shoot at the enemy infantry. Where do we want to put our guns? This terrain is so bumpy in a way that's, like, really annoying. Jezzails right here should be able to shoot into the enemy siege units at least. We're going to have a hard time shooting everybody else, though. We could set the Jezzails up over here instead. Because they don't really need to work on the enemy siege units, right? That's not actually important. And we'll have some units of basic infantry over here to protect these guys, but this'll... So we'll go ahead and engage in melee with the great swords, even though I said that seems like a bad idea. Because we have units that I don't care about. Units that I'm okay with losing to that particular strategy. So I'm actually going to move you guys over here so that you're not as obstructed. Right, yeah, that should be a nice clean line of sight. And then we have clan rats that can help out with this. And also clan rats that can be devoted to attacking these guys. Yes, and try all of the high damage units we want over here. Try to burn out their siege crew before they get anything done. Although these units went down in exactly the wrong formation. We want spears to the right because they're going to have to deal with the enemy cavalry, and in fact, we want spears like here. Deal with those demigryphs. Got our gutter runners. Gutter runners can, you know, they have slings so they can shoot over uneven terrain. Who is left? Everybody who's still alive, get over here and we'll figure you out. So obviously the Doom Wheel is back here somewhere. Part of me wants to put the Doom Wheel over here and just like charge the enemy ranged immediately. I'm a little worried about getting attacked by the demigryphs in this position. Why will it not let me face it forward? That was weird. What's the speed of this Doom Wheel? So it has 82 movement speed compared to the 75 of the... Okay, so we can get away from them. That makes me feel a little safer doing that. We have a Warlock Engineer who should probably be near the catapult teams. We have 2 catapult teams who should probably actually be on this side of the battle. Less vulnerable to enemy cavalry charge. And that means Warlock Engineer is over here casting spells and also ballistics calibrations. Maybe a little bit more like that so we can get both of the Rattling Gun teams inside the area. Okay. Move the catapults over so that everybody's getting it. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel good about that. The gutter runners are placed already, so that just leaves Vomik. I think Vomik being over here makes good sense. He can fling at a lot of guys. He's probably not... We probably don't want him to just directly engage with the enemy lord because of how wounded he is. And then we have reinforcements coming in from over there. The battle's going to be mostly over by the time they arrive. So let's make sure all of our basic targets are set here. The gun teams can just shoot at whoever they can hit. You guys probably need to focus as hard as you can on those dudes. I'm not going to move the spears in yet. We're going to let the enemy make some moves first. You just hit those guys. We need the Eshin Triads basically to run in on the Demigryphs right away, because the Demigryphs are by a huge margin the most dangerous thing on the table. You guys... skirmish mode for sure. Actually, maybe I should have put them over here. I was thinking have them help kill the siege crew, but siege crew's probably under control. Yeah, I might have overcommitted on that one. And then you lot just, yeah, hit those guys. Hit those guys a lot. Okay, there are some units here that we don't mind losing. Just a couple of things we got to be careful about. And if this battle goes well, it'll definitely be the level up for Bilefitch. Let's calibrate some ballistics. Let's fire some doom rockets. Let's just like get rid of a bunch of units as quickly as possible here. And this is, right, Apocalyptic Vision. Not a thing that's going to be terribly useful for him today. Actually, you know what would be terribly useful? Am I close enough to do a Crack's Call just down their infantry line? I sure am. Do that, then we'll Doom Rocket. Okay, that was alright. Okay, the Lord is almost dead already. That's a good start. Oh, he did still fire the Doom Rocket. He didn't do the Crack's Call, it looks like. Well, that was a decision. Wonder why that went the way it went. These guys will be grouped up here a little bit tighter by the time this goes off. Okay, so you're up in the enemy ranged. You're doing that. You guys are killing Demigryphs, which is exactly what we need. Vomik needs to run in and shoot some fireballs at people. Actually, he probably needs to shoot some fireballs at some Demigryphs. And also he needs to buff the defenses of those guys fighting the Demigryphs. Demigryphs are so dangerous. Can we get these guys more like over here? They can shoot at the backs of those infantry as well. Alright, good damage. Lots of good damage. Alright, and then we have you guys. I don't know. Get the hell over here. We'll figure it out later. Alright, we're getting some breaks. We're getting some good breaks, which hopefully will result in some nice chain effects on their morale. Let's see if we can withdraw these Eshin Triad units. No, not you guys. You guys stay in. Okay, this stuff's almost done. Yeah, my big hope is that the Eshin Triads can lower the armor of the enemy, the Demigryphs enough that other people can kill them with gunfire. Wait, where did those Demigryphs go? We didn't kill them all, did we? Oh, maybe we did. I think I underestimated the effectiveness of my own units a little bit. Okay. Bad news for the mortar crew. That's an enemy lord, and he's all up in your business. Let's put our assassin on melee mode, have him get in here. You guys need to fall back. This seems like the moment for the first of those. So we've pretty much broken everything on this side. Ballistics calibration is going to take forever to go off again. Okay, there's the break. We took a little bit more damage before the break than I thought we were going to. But I'll take that. They are, you know, they're tough. They're tough units. I'm surprised at how quickly the demigryphs went down. I was really not expecting that performance. Okay, and the unit of Ashen Triads that we might lose is the Regiment of Renown one. We kept the one that we've put a little bit of XP on already. That's definitely the way we wanted that to go. The loss of the Clan Rats and the Skaven Slaves is totally fine. I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to see any of, like, these units disappear. And you might think, hey, what kind of battle arrangement could you possibly have where those would be units that take damage? And the answer is none, but somehow the auto-resolver still does that. The thing about the auto-resolver is, it's not simulating the actual battles. It's just doing some math. And whatever algorithm they have running comes up with some really unreasonable answers sometimes. Okay, so even the Regiment of Renown Ashen Triads did survive. The only thing we lost was the Clan Rats. That's a really good outcome. Okay. Vomik is becoming a real terror. Also, very sick. It's terrifying how sickly he is. So now we want Woundmaker, probably? Or plus speed? No, I want Woundmaker. We actually do use him in both melee and range, so I want to make sure he's good at dealing damage in both. And Bilefitch is now forever. Is he close enough to be... There we go. I'm going to quick save, and then we're going to hit auto-resolve here. I don't want to play this out manually, but if they kill any of my ranged units, I swear to God, we will reload and play it manually. Okay, the Skaven Slaves died, the Ashen Triads died. We should have been able to do this without anybody taking any damage, I bet. Given the small number of their troops and the fact that we still have a lot of ranged. But whatever, I'll live with it. That's an okay outcome for saving me some time. Vomik's army is slowly bleeding to death, though. Like, we really need to get some new bodies in here. Do you guys want to chase them down? I mean, probably not, right? I don't know that we actually win that. Vomik should be chasing them down. I should have had Bilefitch be the one to lead the attack on Kemperbad. This is definitely an error on my part. And we have 7,800 gold, so... What are my immediate priorities? Well, first of all, like I was saying, I do want to have a look at this. So we are slightly discoverable. Let's fix that. I want this place to stick around for a long time. Until we get over there, because obviously we do have to conquer that. That's going to be a fun Vermintide. We might have to Vermintide the elves as well. I guess we could upgrade Quran. I don't know that it matters too much. This is part of the reason I'm like hesitating to spend a bunch of money on that, is that it just doesn't seem very important. That seems more important. It would be cool if we were public order positive here. I'm going to turn taxation back on. We have enough lead there that I'm not worried about anything bad happening. So that's upgrading. I guess we are... Oh yeah, Eilhart should get upgraded too. Like I said, if we get attacked by Middenland, it's going to be important. Okay, and I can't remember. This is a turn where we already underway moved people, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't think either of our armies in the mountains are in any danger from the dwarf force that we are seeing here. And Carrick Norn is a really nice place to have control of. It's especially nice for us to take control of it away from these dwarves, because, again, we have access to the underway, but the humans don't. So we can make a lot of moves into and out of this mountain range without being at any risk of being followed. And right now, the dwarves can do the same thing. If we eliminate them, we have a significant local advantage in terms of mobility. Also, sad to see that the Reichland army is now as strong as our army again. They've been massing up somewhere. We probably would not have been able to apply enough pressure to stop that from being true, no matter what we did, because all of their recruitment areas are so far away. Wow, that's a lot of Bretonnian ships. I am a little concerned about that. We might have to turn Remamute around and go deal with that problem, because I think those guys are coming for us. They might be going for Athaloran, because they are still at war with the Wood Elves, and actually, if the Bretonnians want to march a bunch of armies into Athaloran, that's probably good for us no matter the outcome. Bray Brayherds have emerged. Awesome. In my enemy's territory. That will work just fine. If we kill Fedoran Unberogen, that guy, we'll get a Power Stone. I don't even want a Power Stone, but I do love killing that guy. Yeah, alright, I'll take the coin flip. Alright, we'll try again next turn when he's not so tired. Okay, the plague is finally worn off of our troops. This is very good news. We need to do a little bit of recruitment. In 3 turns we can pull in those guys. We're definitely going to want to sit here for 2 turns at least. So we can pull Eshin Triads through the global recruitment pool. I think that's probably what we want to do. Yeah, let's just do that. And I'll leave the other slot open so that we can use it to recruit those Regiment of Renowned Storm Vermins. And then you can go back to Grunberg, I guess, and also use the global pool. I don't think we're in danger of getting attacked in the next turn or two. So yeah, you could get like a real unit here. What do we want to get for you? Catapults, sadly, are 4. I don't really want to have them sit for 4 turns. Like, we need to get back on the road here. So maybe it could be another runner. We could grab like poison gutter runners. Yeah, you know what? I like that. Add a little bit of poison to an army, a little bit of poison ranged attack to an army. You can really increase the effectiveness of it because of how powerful the poison debuff is. Oh, hold on. I don't want to underway move this turn. If possible, I want to do an ambush move. Is there anywhere here? I have to get this far forward in order to not be in attrition territory. I don't want to just sit in attrition territory, ideally. And these guys are still recruiting. I mean, I was talking about how Remamute should turn around, right? But, like, we have to deal with this first. We really want to wipe out Carrick Norn. We may have to just accept a turn of attrition on each of the armies. Let's move as far forward as we can while maintaining enough movement to enter ambush mode. Take advantage of our extremely high ambush chance from, first of all of the things we've done, but secondly, that temporary event buff that we have up. Yep, each of these armies is just going to take some mountain damage. Dwarves are a lot better at dealing with all this nonsense than we are. I think Grimhold is less in danger than Karak Asgaraz is, so we'll level that one up first. I really hate how long it takes for that to change. I clicked on that button expecting it to take me to another settlement, because it still said settlement upgrade when I pressed the mouse button. But then, before before the click actually processed, it jumped over to end turn. I think end turn was the right thing there. I just really wish that it wouldn't... I should never be surprised that I ended my turn, you know? So one more turn of northern movement from Remamute to deal with Carrick Norn. And then we turn Remamute around. Like, honestly, if the Bretonnians declare war on us, they might actually get some stuff off of us before we can get in position to play defense. They're taking a little bit of attrition crossing the sea, which hopefully will help. And it looks like the Wood Elves are responding. They are aware of this. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm real nervous about that. Stupid heroes of the Empire constantly assaulting my stuff. I'm not even worried about what they're doing right now, like assaulting our garrisons. And when the steel technology action is poorly named, it doesn't take anything from us. All it does is make their research rate go up for a little while. But I don't like that their heroes are gaining XP constantly off of us. That's very dangerous. We have an unhappy populace in Kemperbad. You know what? Kemperbad doesn't need to have taxation on. Okay, yep. They're all doing lots of stuff because they're all jerks. Do you want to try this again? The exhaustion debuff did not wear off. I guess we have to let him like have a turn. Take a turn. Take a breath. Having a hell of a time selecting Remamute here. Okay. Let's do it. This has got to be the turn of let's do it, because we have other things we need to get onto. Alright. What do we want to do with your last bit of skill? Your last skill points. And we could take this charge bonus. He charges into people sometimes. We could work on public order stuff, but like this army spends all of its time in enemy land. So... this increases public order when you're in your own territory and lowers public order when you're in an enemy territory. I don't think we're going to spend enough time in any enemy region for the reduction in public order to have any effect, because we tend to enter enemy territory and then kill that enemy shortly after. So I don't think it's worth taking that. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and grab Opportunist. May as well. He doesn't have a lot of meaningful skill points left. Alright, let's see if we can get a lucky ambush off here. We can indeed. We catch the dwarves out of position. Somehow we take a ton of damage. Again, should maybe be manualing some of these battles, even though they would not be very fun to fight.
Listen to me.
Alright, the battle for Carrick Norn is going to be a little bit more complicated because like the AI would do a terrible job here, but we can win this while taking relatively little damage. So... this is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see us finally burn this dwarf tribe out of these mountains. How long have we been at war with them? It's been like 100 turns or something. Granted, there wasn't any actual fighting for almost all of that, but still, they have to learn a lesson. Come back next time for that, for learning the teaching. They're learning, I'm teaching, for teaching a lesson. And we'll see you then.